there are three critical and fundamental parties to delivering these sorts of capabilities. There's the Department of Defence and the ADF, there's defence industry, and the third and critical party is government and the ministers of the day. And the truth is that the last government failed in its job of ministerial oversight and energy, failed in its job of actually overseeing this process, bringing defence and industry together to resolve these challenging areas. Because the truth is that defence procurement is complex, it is challenging, and that's why you need defence ministers that are engaged, that are actively working every day to advance the interests of the Australian people and the ADF. And the truth is that defence ministers under the last government lasted on average 18 months. Goldfish lasted longer than coalition defence ministers. And the result of that was a lack of oversight. And a couple of key indicators of that are ministerial summits to resolve problem projects. In the last 3 years of the last Labor government, there were 6 summits in those 3 years, 6 summits in 3 years. In the first 9 years of the coalition government, including Peter Dutton's time as Defence Minister, there were paltry 6 summits in 9 years. So a tripling of the length of time between ministerial summits, which is critical to bringing defence and industry together. On the projects of concern process, which is so important to driving resolution to these challenging projects, the last Labor government in 6 years listed 21 projects as projects of concern. The last Liberal government under Peter Dutton, but across the entire 9 years, listed 4 projects. And ladies and gentlemen, these projects weren't getting easier. They only listed 4 not because the projects were getting simpler. They listed 4 because they did not care about doing their daily job. They did not care. They were asleep at the wheel, and that's why we've seen cumulative delays of 97 years across these 28 projects. And 2 examples of that the DPM talked about, the Hunter-class frigate, where the last government lied to the Australian people that they were getting an off-the-shelf design that was proven and working for other navies. It was a developmental project. They are literally designing this ship right now, and the result of that is a 4-year delay in cutting steel for that vital project. On the offshore patrol vessels, vital capability to the Royal Australian Navy, the last government actively intervened and instructed the successful tenderer Lursons to include the unsuccessful tenderer in their project as a subcontractor. They intervened to force this outcome, which ultimately failed, delaying the project by a year. And so, as the DPM has highlighted, we're announcing 6 critical reforms that will improve project delivery, that will improve performance in defence and defence industry, that will help ensure that the ADF get the equipment they need when they need it, and taxpayers' money is protected. That's the Independent Project Management Office, the monthly projects of concern meeting, updates to ministers, a formal criteria and early warning indicators for problem projects, importantly, changing the culture of defence, providing greater resources to projects in trouble, and convening regular ministerial summits so that ministers will be involved again in this process.